A pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Carl Cummins Gymnasium here on the campus of Selah High School for a CWAC competition between the Selah Vikings, who come into this one with a record, of 0-5 on the season, while the Ellensburg Lady Bulldogs, the visitors, come to this one with an 8-1 overall record, 7-1 in conference. I am Shay Matson, a Selah alum class of 2020, and I'm glad to come back and start streaming for the school district once again as we start hosting home games during these trying COVID times. It's not very often you find yourselves watching high school basketball in the month of June, but here we are, and we are very excited to once again, a lot of my alum friends getting back on the streams and having an opportunity to broadcast live in front of a online audience.
Awesome, thank you, Sid.
That was Sydney Wells of the Vikings. And I will step aside and let the PA announcer take over for starting lineups. We'll be with you in a moment.
Number 15, Issa Demas. Number 22, Quinn Vogel. Number 32, Maddie Kennedy. Number 41, Katie Blue. And number 44, Kelly Archer. Now your starters for the 8-1 Ellensburg Bulldogs. A junior, number 3, Dylan Phillip. A sophomore, number 10, Riley Leishman. A sophomore, number 23, Olivia Anderson. A junior, number 30, Kylan Smith. And a senior, number 34, Kaiden Whitney. Now, let's meet the Vikings, beginning with the reserves. Number 3, Janae Hall. Number 10, Sarah Tamplin. And number 44, J.C. Carpenter. And now your starting lineup for the Vikings. A 5'5" freshman, number 1, Yavi Ruhr. A 5'6" sophomore, number 12, Bryn Pendleton. A 5'5" junior, number 20, Jaden Horton. A 5'6" sophomore, number 22, Carrie Matson. And a 5'7" senior, number 33, Sid Wells. Head coach for the Bulldogs is Jeff Whitney, assisted by Gordon Oslinger. Head coach for the Vikings, Rick Hartman, assisted by Doug Cronin.
Those were your starting lineups. We'll now pause for the national anthem in a moment.
Gentlemen, if wearing them, remove your hats as we enter America with the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Selah High School Pep Band. Good job, Selah High School Pep Band.
And that was the Selah Pep Band indeed. A great job by director Mr. Jeff Smith as we await the tip-off between the Selah Vikings and Ellensburg Bulldogs ladies. Here, coming into this one, the Selah Vikings actually are coming off of a long quarantine. They had 2 positive COVID cases about 2 weeks ago, and the team was sidelined and quarantined for 10 days. And this is their first game back. Their last matchup was against Grandview on May 15th in this very building, and they ended up losing that one 38-56 without their leading scorer, Kiriann Matson, who's been the main producer for these Vikings all season. She was out with a concussion, but now everyone's been rested up and hopefully healthier, as they are anxious to hopefully get their first win of the season. If not this game, then hopefully soon. The tip-off will go to the Vikings of Selah. Quick shot taken by Matson. 2-pointer no good. Rebound by the Bulldogs. There's Anderson. No good on the other end. Rebound to Matson. Very quickly paced game to start. Already 3 possessions within 25 seconds of game time. That shot no good. Oh, Caitlin Smith seems to be hurt on the floor holding her knee, and the refs will take a pause. So coming into this one, the Bulldogs of Ellensburg came away with the victory on May 28th at Prosser, with winning that one 66-52. Leading scorer is Dylan Phillip with 24, who surpassed the 1,000-point mark of her high school career. Very, very big accomplishment. And as the Bulldogs outscored Prosser 25-9 in the third quarter. It was also big because they avenged a loss to the Mustangs earlier this year at home on May 15th, which is the last time the Selah girls had a game. They hosted the Prosser Mustangs, lost that one 42-51. Their undefeated season came to a screeching halt end to end. So it was a really big statement of them to go back to Prosser the other day and come away with a 14-point victory. So this matchup was originally scheduled to happen on May 18th between these two teams. I believe it was supposed to be over in Ellensburg, but unfortunately COVID-19 positive tests from the Lady Vikings basketball team halted that and delayed all of the scheduled games until today. They were also the Vikings were also supposed to play the Prosser Mustangs on earlier this year. I can't quite remember the date. It was late in May, perhaps the early 20s. But now it's scheduled to happen this Saturday, June 5th, at home. We will have that stream up and live. And for any of you viewers who are currently wanting to follow live streams, or excuse me, live stats online, we will be providing those to you. There is a link in the description for live stats on the website Scorebook Live. Tune in for player scores and play-by-play action. So Kaylin Smith has been wheeled off the court in a wheelchair. Hopefully she is okay, as she's being attended to by the Selah High School sports medicine team. Vikings with the basketball. Ball tossed around a little bit. It will stay with Selah after a deflection by Olivia Anderson. Inbound goes to Horton. She finds Ruark. Ball batted around to Riley Leishman, trying to get in on the deflection, and the foul will go against Yabi Ruark. First team foul goes to the Vikings. A little over 7 minutes to go in this first quarter. Pass deflected by Sydney Wells inside. It will stay with Ellensburg. Now, something these Vikings really need to focus on is trying to cause some chaos, force some turnovers, disrupt the fluidity of this Ellensburg offense, and I think they'll be able to compete well. Three-pointer by Phillip, no good. Kiriann Matson trying to find her teammate. I think that was Pendleton of the Vikings, a little overshot. The ball will go right back to the Bulldogs. Here's Leishman, the sophomore. Gets back to Leishman, 3 on the way, no good. Still scoreless. A minute and a half into this first quarter. As Matson will pull up from about 16 feet, a little short. And here come the Bulldogs in the other direction. Anderson, far side, good.
Number 23 will be on Anderson.
The assist will go to Leishman as the Bulldogs are the first to score. Matson thinking about taking a 3. Hard screen by Wells, no foul. 2 for Pendleton, no good. Wells is put back, blocked by Leishman, and will stay with Selah. Just under 6 minutes to go, 5:57 on the clock. As still not a lot has happened in the scorebook. The Vikings trying to get the ball out, and they're going to get Leishman with a foul. First on Leishman. First foul on Ellensburg. That means it will be 1 apiece in terms of team fouls for both squads. And the ball was deflected by, most definitely deflected by the Bulldogs, but apparently it went off the fingertips of Jaden Horton, so it goes right back to Ellensburg. Leishman, wide open 3 up top, short. Saved by Phillip, goes right into the hands of Sidney Wells. Here's Horton. Wells really putting down some heavy screens. She gets the rebound, doing a lot of the physical work underneath, and ball will go right back to Ellensburg. Here's Katie Bloom of the Bulldogs. Pass tipped, and it goes off the fingertips of Lydia Anderson. Viking basketball. Substitution for Ellensburg. Number 22, Ken Rogel, will check in. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go in this first quarter. Vikings looking for their first bucket, and Sidney Wells will get fouled. It will go against Rogel. Second team foul against the Bulldogs as Wells will attempt to get the Vikings on the scoreboard. Something that these Vikings have told or have definitely struggled in this season is getting on the free throws. A few games they shot under 50, well under 50%. As Wells will split. Shot no good by the Bulldogs, and it will go off the fingertips of Ellensburg. I initially thought it was Yabi Ruark who got the last touch, but good news for the Vikings with an opportunity to take the lead here in the first quarter. Matson pressured. She throws it away to Katie Bloom, who takes it herself but doesn't finish the layup. Good recovery defense by Matson after making the unforced error. Or excuse me, the very forced error, in fact. There's another turnover. And both of Ellensburg's buckets have come from points off turnovers. Phillip credited with that one. I believe another assist will go to Leishman as well. Ball was off the referee's knee, stays in play, and another fast break bucket by Ellensburg, which prompts a timeout by Selah head coach Rick Hartman. So we will step aside. 4:11 remaining in this first quarter. The Lady Vikings competing but down 5. We'll be right back after the break. And we are back to action. Quick little timeout by the Vikings. They're still looking for their first field goal of the game. They're having trouble getting inside with that really rough Ellensburg defense, as the jump ball will go to Ellensburg. 3:59 to go in this first quarter. Anderson from the top of the key, can't hit. Rebound to Kirian Matson. Leishman gets her hand on that one, another steal. There's a very wide open Dylan Phillips waiting for the pass. Guarded by Ruark, doesn't matter. Phillip with her third bucket of the game. All of Ellensburg's points still from fast break layups. Most of them prompted by turnovers, and there's another one. Dylan Phillip, 4 buckets in a row. Five buckets and 5 wide open layups for the Ellensburg Bulldogs. Another deflection, this time Selah keeps it and nearly throws it away. Ball's on the ground. This time the Vikings will get the jump ball. Jacene Carpenter will come in to replace Matson. Jacene Carpenter getting her first minutes, the senior. 2:50 to go in this first quarter, 1-10, the Bulldog advantage. Here's Carpenter, can't hit, gets her own rebound and throws it right over the top of the head of Jaden Horton, and Dylan Phillip will once again finish on the other end of the floor. That's 5 buckets. Phillip making 10 of the 12 Bulldog points. Here's Carpenter inside the key and gets it to go. First field goal of the Vikings comes from Carpenter. Ellensburg still yet to score while on the offense. All of their points have come from the fast break layup. Here's a deep 2, no good from Maddie Kennedy. Doesn't matter as the Bulldogs rebound and can't finish. Phillips' shot rebounded by Sydney Wells. His Ruark open in the corner. Hesitates. Deep 2, no good off the glass. Wells thinking about it. And Horton throwing a pass over the top out of bounds. Now checking in for the Vikings, number 10, Sarah Tamblin. And Kirian Matson will return for the Vikings as well. Bulldogs swinging it around. Wells holding things up on the other end. Here's Tamblin on the baseline, goes right through her hands. Quite the fireball of a pass from Ruark. As we're just outside of 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Phillip for 3. Won't go. Rebound to Matson. And she will get fouled. Foul will go against Maddie Kennedy of the Bulldogs. Here's Wells. Dumps it off to Carpenter, gets a good look, can't finish, but she'll go to the free throw line. I believe they'll get Katie Bloom with the foul, and they will. 47 seconds remaining in this first quarter. First one, no good. And for the Vikings for the first time tonight, Janae Hall coming in for Yabi Ruark. Carpenter will make the second. So 2 trips to the free throw line tonight for the Vikings, and both occasions end up with a split. Phillip, deep 2, rattles out. The rebound to Leishman, the sophomore. She'll try to put it back on her own and hit. First jump shot for the Bulldogs tonight. Here's Carpenter inside. Good shot for the senior. The assist going to Matson. 8 seconds on the clock. 3-pointer on the way for Ellensburg. Off the mark. Fumbled around. Matson getting possession, and she will dribble out the quarter. A very, very fast-paced first quarter. The Bulldogs jump out to a 14-6 lead after 1. We'll step aside and be right back after the break. And we are back. Carl Kilman Gymnasium. CWAC basketball action, June 1st of 2021. The Bulldogs of Ellensburg, ranked number 1 in the Central Washington Athletic Conference this year, currently holding on to an 8-point lead over the Vikings of Selah, who are still looking for their first win this season. Reminder, if you would like to follow live stats and scoring updates online, free throw percentages, and much, much more, you can click on the link in our description of the live stream, and it will take you to a website called Scorebook Live, and you'll be able to follow the game as it unfolds. First possession for Ellensburg, and Olivia Anderson with a nice little runner off the glass. Ball just ripped out of the hands of Jaden Horton by Riley Leishman, and she will somehow finish on the other end. Leishman getting some good minutes in for the Bulldogs. 4 quick points to start the quarter. Here's Wells. Matson will pull up top. Can't hit. Katie Bloom with the rebound. And Dylan Phillip will finish once again on the other end of the floor. 12 points for Phillip. Bulldogs extend their lead to 14. Kirian Matson dumps it off Sydney Wells. Nice little layup at the end. Wells not being afraid to get physical. I think she can benefit from plays like that, as Bloom will take a 3 on the other end and not hit. Yabi Ruark now in control. Sydney Wells looking to drive again, but this time gets denied by Olivia Anderson, and the Bulldogs will recover. Here's Anderson, and she will get fouled by Sydney Wells. Anderson will go to the line and shoot 2. First one good. Six minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this second quarter, as they will get Yabi Ruark for the lane violation. Anderson to attempt the 3rd attempt at her 2 shots for free throw and won't hit. Horton, 3 on the way, got it. First 3-point bucket by either squad tonight as Horton pulls the Vikes back within 10. And another foul on the other end of the floor. This time shooting free throws is Caden Whitney. Kirian Matson of the Vikes will pick up her first. 5:47 remaining in this second quarter. First one no good, as Jacene Carpenter will check back in, as well as Quinn Rogel of the Bulldogs. Second one falls. Here's Horton, closely guarded by Dylan Phillip and Rick Hartman of the Vikes. The head coach will call a full timeout. So 5:36 remaining in this second quarter. It's Selah 11, Ellensburg 22. We'll step aside and come right back after the break. And we're back. Jaden Horton of the Vikings in control. Finds Yabi Ruark, who shoots a 3 and hits. The freshman finding it way in. And that will prompt a turnover on the other end of the floor. Selah with an opportunity to close this one to an even closer margin. They currently trail by 8, 14-22, with just over 5 minutes to go in the first half as Carpenter is fouled. Quinn Rogel will pick up her second. Carpenter to shoot the pair. Misses the first by quite a bit. Kimmy Hartrick and Maddie Kennedy will check back in for Ellensburg, as well as Katie Bloom. Carpenter will nail the second. So the Vikings staying at 50% for their free throws so far tonight. Splitting on each of their trips. There's Leishman to Bloom. Swings it around. Anderson, 3 on the way from the right side. Got it. Selah hanging in there for right now, giving one of the better teams in the state of Washington a run for their money. Ruark nearly hits another 3. The rebound will go to Jaden Horton. She'll try to reset. And the 3-point attempt clobbered by Olivia Anderson. Brooke Pendleton taking just a split second too long to set up as Anderson with that long wingspan was ready for it. Matson checks back into the game for Jaden Horton. And Anderson once again getting another deflection, but no harm done to the effort of the Vikings. Poor inbound pass taken by Bloom. She'll do a little stop Euro step, but it's taken away by Ruark, deflected, and here comes Matson on the other end of the floor, chased by Leishman and caught. Leishman, All-State, the cross-country state championships a year ago as a freshman. Member of the 2019 Ellensburg State Championship cross-country team. Able to chase down the fellow cross-country runner, Kirian Matson, as Leishman will get another steal. Throw it up to Bloom, and she finishes. Ellensburg playing fast as they usually do. They get another turnover. So Sid Wells will foul Katie Bloom on her attempt to go to the other end of the floor. Dylan Phillip will return, and Jaden Horton will for the Vikings. 4:05 remaining in this first half. Ellensburg with a 12-point lead as they throw the ball away again. Turnovers piling up for the Vikings. I don't currently have stats in front of me for the number of turnovers, but the numbers should be pretty interesting. Matson a three on the other end, rims out. Ruark with the rebound, trying to find Horton, and Hartrick will pick up a foul. 6th team foul on the Bulldogs. 3:45 remaining in the first half. I think Kirian Matson was trying to pass to a teammate, Bryn Pendleton, on the other side, but she'll go to the free throw line and shoot too. Maddie Kennedy will pick up her second personal. As Vikings now in the bonus. Matson the first of two. Is no good. Matson the second on the way. This one falls. Another split for the Vikings. Bloom on the other end, airballs it. Here's Horton. Over to Matson, bounce pass back to Horton. They find Pendleton on the baseline, jumper good. Good offensive trip by the Vikings. Recognizing the trap up top, and that means there's a teammate open. They found Pendleton. There's Bloom, three on the way, got it. Just when the Vikings start getting some offensive momentum, there's Ellensburg back with a three. Ruark, another three attempted, but tipped by Olivia Anderson. I think they'll call a foul. Might have gotten some of the hand of Yabi Ruark as she was shooting, so she'll shoot 3 free throws. 8th foul on the Bulldogs as a team this half. Ruark, the first of 3, good. Second one, no good. She'll get another one. As substitutions coming in, Sarah Tamblin for the Vikings, as well as Riley Leishman for the Bulldogs, and I believe Kavara Jones is checked in as well. Third one will fall. 2 out of 3 for Yabi Ruark. Vikes back within 10. A little miscommunication defensively for the Vikes, quickly fixed. 3 on the way for the Bulldogs, off the glass and in. The bank is open for Maddie Kennedy. Bull team with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in this second quarter. Tamblin, a quick release off the side of the backboard, no good. Ellensburg quick to respond. Leishman lines up for 3 and hits. Horton finds Ruark in the corner. Gets it to Jacene Carpenter, who gets tipped and can't finish. Rebound to Hartrick. shot by Cami Hartrick, no good. Nice pass inside to Ruark. Doesn't want to finish, but gets it to Carpenter, who can't finish either. Now inside of a minute 30 to go in the second. Jones thought about it. Instead takes a 2 and hits. First bucket of the night, Kavara Jones. Ellensburg extending their lead to 18. And another Bulldog foul. This will result in free throws for Sarah Tamblin. Foul will go against Kennedy, her third. 1:09 to go. 3 subs coming in. Bryn Pendleton, as well as Katie Bloom and Kaden Whitney. No good on the first of the 1-and-1. Katie Bloom once again. And Katie Bloom, there you go. Or excuse me, that was Dylan Phillip on that bucket. Three on the way for Ruark, a little off the mark. Bloom gets her own rebound, kicks it out, and Ellensburg will reset inside of 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter, or first half, excuse me. Inside to Bloom. A little turnaround shot. They'll call it foul. Foul will go against Kirianne Matson. Second personal. Fifth on the Vikings with 11 seconds remaining in the first half. Bloom's first, no good. So a correction on the foul. It'll go against Jaden Horton instead of Kirianne Matson. Another pass deflection, this to the Vikings. 3 seconds on the clock, and a foul on the Bulldogs of Ellensburg. Dylan Phillip will pick up her first. 2 free throws as the Vikes are now in the double bonus. First one no good, but it's a double bonus. So Sydney Wells will get a second. Second one no good as well. And that will do your first half. Your score, the Selah Vikings 20 and the Ellensburg Bulldogs 43. We'll step aside for a little bit and come back with thoughts, opinions, and discussions for the first half of action and get ready for the second half of the game between the Selah Vikings and Ellensburg Bulldogs. Back after this. Welcome back, Selah High School. I'm Shea Matson here for the halftime show. Your score, Selah 20, Ellensburg 43. Some scoring rundowns for the first half. We'll start with the Ellensburg Bulldogs, the leader. Their leading scorer overwhelmingly, Dylan Phillip, 14 points. 5 of those field goals coming from, actually I believe 6 of those field goals came from layups on the fast break. And so she's been doing a very good job of getting out down the floor and being able to produce for Ellensburg even when no one's on the other side of the floor. So she's got 14. Also scoring very well is Olivia Anderson. She's got 8. Right with her, also 8 points, Katie Bloom. So the Bulldogs got a really strong three-pronged attack when it comes to the scoreboard. Actually, you can add Riley Leishman to that conversation as well. She's tacked on 7 with two-point field goals and a 3-point to add to her night. Maddie Kennedy also posting a 3. And Kavara Jones, a 2-point basket, and Caden Whitney splitting on some free throws. She's got 1 point for the night so far. On the other hand, Vikes are led by Jacene Carpenter, the senior post, who's been doing a lot of the heavy work underneath. She's got 6 points. And Yabi Ruark adds 5 with 1 3-point field goal in the corner and then making 2 free throws. But other than that, Jaden Horton's got 3, Pendleton 2, and Kieran Matson's got 1 from a split pair of free throws earlier in the game. So things that Ellensburg can do better, well actually not better, they just need to keep playing aggressive. I think their fast break approach and playing fast, every time they've gotten a turnover, they've been quick to go. And I think Riley Leishman's been a really good example of getting the steal and go. She's got at least 2 assists from passes she's thrown up the floor to either Dylan Phillip or Katie Bloom, waiting on the other side of the floor. I think also playing offensive efficiency. They haven't really gotten a lot of chances to be on offense because they've been playing on the fast break the whole time. But just keeping those turnovers up. I think Selah, on the other hand, they need to keep shooting their free throws well because that's clear Ellensburg's going to be fouling a lot. And then other than that, just match their intensity. Don't make silly errors and not pile up the turnovers. So to start off the half, Katie Bloom with a layup off a Selah turnover. Inbound to Jaden Horton. Finds Sydney Wells. Pendleton. Little triangle pass action. Yabi Ruark 3 from the corner. That's her second one. Yabi Ruark 2 out of 3 from downtown tonight. Pass deflected by Pendleton. Kirian Matson with the steal. And now the Vikings coming the other way. Ruark thought about doing a heat check 3-pointer. Here's Pendleton, baseline jumper. Doesn't hit. As Kirian will get another steal. Ruark, deep 2, right side, no good. But Wells, the putback, doesn't fall either, but there will be a foul on the rebound. It will go against Dylan Phillip. Second personal and first on the team Bulldog total for the half. Inbound to Horton, finds Pendleton. Difficult baseline jumper, no good. And there's Dylan Phillip sprinting to the other side of the floor, and she'll get the and 1 as Matson tried running underneath and getting the strip. So Phillip will shoot 1 off the and 1 and brick it. Good rebound there by Yabi Ruark. As another turnover for the Vikes. 6:32 remaining in this third quarter. 23-47. Ellensburg leads. Anderson turnaround doesn't hit. Matson with the rebound, and Anderson will foul, trying to go for the basketball.
Fouls on number 23 for Bulldogs. Olivia Anderson, second Bulldog team foul.
Second personal and second team foul for the Bulldogs. Here's Matson trying to find Ruark. She does. Thinking about taking the three, but instead tries to lob it into Sydney Wells, but you can't really do that with Olivia Anderson waiting for it. And Phillip goes to the other end and finally misses a layup. Matson trying to get the jump ball, and she'll get it. Three-pointer from Leishman in the corner, hits. Riley Leishman 2 for 2 from behind the line. Really doing a good job role-playing for this Ellensburg team, who could have easily made a state championship run, assuming there was a normal COVID-less season. Here's Wells off the putback. Can't hit, but she'll go to the line and shoot two. Foul will go against Riley Leishman. Second personal and third on the Bulldogs this half. First one no good for Sydney Wells. Wells, the second attempt. Will not fall either, but Yabi Ruark will get the rebound and throw it away. Backcourt violation for the Vikes, goes right back to Ellensburg. As two substitutions for the Bulldogs will check in, Cami Hartrick and Quinn Rogel. Also a late substitution, Maddie Kennedy will check in. .5:22 to go in this third quarter, 23-50, it's the Bulldog advantage. Rogel thinking about it, gets it into Hartrick. Turnaround doesn't fall. Kennedy stuffed by Wells, and then a tie-up underneath the hoop between Kennedy and Pendleton. Jump ball will go to the Vikings. Oh, correction, not a jump ball. The foul will go against Maddie Kennedy, her fourth personal. So Bulldog in foul trouble with just over 5 minutes to go in the third. And a very deep pass by Jaden Horton. Probably a miscommunication between her and Kiriann Matson. Another turnover for the Vikings. I'd say easily about their 20th turnover on the night unofficially. Rogel a three, can't hit. Good ball movement by the Bulldogs. Leishman will reset, find Phillip. She'll fire a three and rim it out with Yabi Ruark right there to get the rebound. Ruark trying to find Kiriann Matson. She does at great cost. Kiriann almost lost her balance, but another turnover. And guess who? Dylan Phillip. An and-one layup on the other end. Another basket for Dylan Phillip. She has 18 on the night. Horton will pick up a foul. Second for her. Second team foul for the Vikings as well. Tamblin and Carpenter checking back in for the Vikes. The end one free throw, no good for Phillip. 2 and 1 trips and 2 empty hands. Another awful pass by the Vikes, and Dylan Phillip makes up for it. Phillip making them pay once again. She now has 20. I think most of those points came from layups. Wells fires a three, can't hit. But good rebound by Pendleton, she can't finish. This is Jacine Carpenter. She gets it to go. And I think Sydney Wells has had enough of Dylan Phillip layups that she finally gets a hand of one. As Kavara Jones will check in for Phillip, the 1,000 point surpassing Ellensburg star. And Janae Hall will check in for Selah. Jump ball will go right back to Selah. Pass to Hall. Now Wells trying to feed Carpenter. She does. Little pivot. Can't finish. Gets her own rebound and stripped from behind by Cami Hartrick. But 2 free throws coming up for Carpenter. Hartrick will pick up her second. 5th on the Bulldogs as Carpenter will shoot 2. First one on the way. No good. Bulldog reserves coming in. Katie Bloom checking in, and Issa Demas getting her first minutes of the night. Second one good for Carpenter. 26-56 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ellensburg showing why they're #1 in the conference right now. Hartrick, nice pivot move. Tamblin from the baseline. Sarah Tamblin with her first bucket of the night. Rogel three-pointer, got it. The reserves from both squads getting some pretty decently sized minutes and now points. Hall's pass to Carpenter a little too high. As Demas will now control. Finds Jones, back to Demas. They're going to play catch for a little bit. Find Hartrick. Gets stripped by Carpenter. Bloom thought about it. Now Demas for 3. That one's short. Carpenter with the board. 1:36 and counting to go in the third. Here's Wells. Finds Carpenter, who finds Tamblin, and she's nailed. I believe the foul will go against Rogel of the Bulldogs. And it will. Sarah Tamblin, her second trip to the free throw line tonight. Misses the front end. As Caden Whitney will check in. Excuse me, Kaiden Whitney. Second one no good as well. Demas in control. Bulldogs still trying to find that inside pass. They finally do, but this one is taken away by Pendleton. Jump ball stays with Ellensburg. 57 seconds remaining in this third quarter. 1 second on the shot clock. No good from Demas. Almost got it to fall. .40 seconds and counting. Sydney Wells getting her fair share of point guard duties. A rocket of a pass to Sarah Tamblin. Just wasn't ready for it. .30 seconds to go in the third quarter. And another overhead pass, this time by Ellensburg. Turnover fest tonight. More so on the Vikings end, but Ellensburg getting their fair share of turnovers with a lot of their starters off the floor. Here's Tamblin trying to do another baseline jumper. Can't hit, and it'll go out of bounds off Rogel. 12.5 seconds left on the game clock. Inbound pass to Pendleton, finds Hall. Tamblin, another baseline jumper. This one a little long. 4 seconds. Bloom gets stripped. Wells tried to launch it, but ran out of time. And that will do the third quarter. Your score, Ellensburg 61, Selah 28. We'll step aside again, but we'll have more action when we return.
Vikings basketball to begin the fourth.
As we begin this fourth quarter, we're going to take a look at the box score quarter by quarter. It seemed like the Vikings had a really good, or they were doing a good enough job keeping Ellensburg's offense quiet. Unfortunately, their fast break points said otherwise. And points off turnovers, they had all 14 of the points from Ellensburg in the first quarter were from off turnovers that turned into fast breaks. So it was a 6-14 first quarter, followed by a 14-29 Ellensburg 1 second quarter. There's Kavara Jones with a three-pointer to open the quarter. She's got 5. Matson trying to do it herself. She gets her first field goal of the night. Matson, her first game back since her concussion against Prosser earlier this year. As Bloom can't hit. 7 minutes to go in the game. Last quarter, Ellensburg went on an 18-8 run and extended their lead quite largely. As now Jaden Horton's fouled. Kavara Jones will pick up her first. 6:50 to go in the game.
Jaden Horton on the line shooting for the Vikings. Substitution for the Bulldogs, number 32, Maddie Kennedy.
And Maddie Kennedy will check back in. Horton will miss both, but Wells will be right there to get the rebound, can't finish. Bloom up top, got it. Ellensburg pouring on the fast break points. 66-30, 6:30 to go in the game. Pendleton, deep 2, no good. As the rebound will go to Quinn Rogel, and she'll travel. Kemi Hartrick checking back in for the Bulldogs. Katie Bloom would have 3 Bulldogs in double figures for points. She's got 12. Riley Leishman adding 10, and Dylan Phillip with 22. Horton kicks it out Wells. Pump fakes a 3, 15-footer on the run, hits it. Good possession for the Vikes. They show pressure now. Matson getting a hand on that one. And that pass from Demas stolen away, but then it's taken away right back. And then Demas gets a hand on it, takes it back, and then throws it away to Ruark. Ball's on the ground. And now a tie-up between Yabi Ruark and Cami Hartrick. Jump ball will go to Ellensburg. Now Anderson will check back in. Quite the sequence we saw there. As a backcourt violation will be called against the Ellensburg Bulldogs. 5:27 remaining in the game. Pendleton finds Horton. A little baseline runner, can't hit, rebound Hartrick, who immediately outlets it to Olivia Anderson, just a little too far. Ellensburg going back to their fast break basketball, even though they're up by 34 points. Horton, 3 on the left side, can't hit. That's incredibly hard to rebound with Cami Hartrick in there. The foul will go against Matson, but it was a good effort to try to get that rebound. Matson will pick up her third, as well as the team this half. 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Matson probably got away with another foul, but nonetheless, Anderson somehow gets a shot up, and another foul on the Vikings. This one will go against Horton, her third, with 4:49 left on the clock. Anderson to shoot the pair. She'll make both. Quick outlet to Yabi Ruark. A 1-on-3, almost finished, but I believe Demas was out of bounds when she caught the ball laying on her back. 32-68. The Bulldog advantage. Reminder that there's a link in the description that will take you to live stats of the game so you can follow along with scoring updates and box scores. Ruark's 3 doesn't fall. It was tipped. Anderson will then throw it away. Tie up on the ground. Jump ball will go to the Vikings. Selah basketball with 4:33 to play, as some Viking substitutions will come back. Sarah Tamblin will check in, and Jacene Carpenter. Ruark, another 3, no good. Ball on the ground, tie up between Demas and Tamblin. The ball will go to the Bulldogs. 4:16 to play. Anderson got tied up for a little bit. But Hartrick will find Kennedy, who airballs it. And Sarah Tamblin was ready for that rebound. Matson finds Tamblin, who throws it back to Wells. Little runner, actually not a runner, a little pass to Carpenter, who almost finishes. Carpenter will go shoot 2 at the line. 8th team foul on the Bulldogs, as Maddie Kennedy will pick up her 5th, so she's done for the night. Rogel will check back in her place. So Carpenter makes the first. Misses the second. Demas and Rogel playing catch. Hartrick at the top of the key, finds Anderson. Now finds Jones underneath. Hartrick trying to get inside, instead pulls up, can't hit, and a little hot potato with Yabi Ruark and Kavara Jones. It'll go off the fingertips of Ruark, however. .322 to play. Anderson trying a very long scoop layup, but Demas is right there, can't finish. Here are the Vikes with 3 minutes to play. Tamblin, 3 from the corner, no good. Sarah Tamblin having a fair share of jump shots. Unable to hit 3 of them, but she's been able to connect on 1 occasion. Shot no good and off the foot of, I believe, Sydney Wells. But either way, the ball will stay with Ellensburg with 2:48 to play. Here's Jones, wide open 3, long, rebounded by Ruark. Up to Matson, deep 2, can't hit. Wells trying to do an alley-oop type rebound before Olivia Anderson could get there, couldn't finish. Another turnover for Ellensburg. Matson coming down the other way, finds contact. Wells trying to get the rebound, but a jump ball will stay with Selah. Janae Hall will check in for the Vikes. 2:18 remaining in the game. As the Vikes will swing it around. Kieran Matson, now Tamblin. About a 16-footer, won't go. And now with 2 minutes to play, Ellensburg will slow it down. A little deflection there. Hartrick wondering if it was off the fingertips of a Viking or a Bulldog, but apparently it was off the fingertip of a Bulldog. So the Vikings will get the ball back with 1:48 to go. Janae Hall in motion. Tamlin will catch the deflection and nearly hit the 3, put back good by Sydney Wells. Deflection out of bounds, stays with Ellensburg. I believe that is only the second field goal, either the second or third field goal from the Vikings this quarter. Ball out of bounds, Selah ball. 120 and counting. Kirian Matson in control. Here's Wells High key finds Carpenter. Nice pass and great finish. Carpenter still finding hints of success tonight. Hartrick can't finish, but gets her own rebound. Nearly throws it away. Bulldogs trying to swing it around, but Jones gets hacked by Matson, who will pick up her fourth with 49 seconds to play.
Also number 22 of the Vikings, Carrie Matson, fourth personal, fifth Viking team foul.
Fifth foul on the Vikes. Jones finds Anderson, who throws it far side to Rogel, gets it to Demas. Anderson, three from the right side. Good hustle play by Rogel to get the rebound. Demas, the runner, no good. And then a little tie up. There'll be a foul called against the Bulldogs. Not sure at the moment who will get the foul called. I believe it'll go against Issa Demas, who is currently being attended to for injury reasons. So we will step aside. 24 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Ellensburg with a commanding 31-point lead, 68-37. We'll be right back. So it appears that Issa Demas has hit her head on the hardwood and seemed to be in quite miserable pain. So Courtney Peart of the Selah sports medicine team taking a look at her right now, but she did walk off the court in her own power, so that's a good sign. As Sydney Wells will miss the front end of the 1-and-1 with 24 seconds left. Ellensburg just going to play catch, 10 seconds left. Vikes still trying to get a jump ball. They do, but it'll stay with Ellensburg, 8 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. I think the Ellensburg Bulldogs will just dribble this one out, and they will. So the Ellensburg Bulldogs will take a victory in this one. They improve to 9-1 overall in the season and 8-1 in conference. The Selah Vikings, however, will fall to 0-6 on the season and 0-6 in CWAC play. So some scoring rundowns really quick. Leading scorer for the Ellensburg Bulldogs overwhelmingly, Dylan Phillip, 22 points. Two other Bulldogs joining her in double figures, Katie Bloom with 12, and actually 3 other Bulldogs joining her in double figures, Katie Bloom with 12, Olivia Anderson with 10, and Riley Leishman with 10 as well. Also scoring for the Bulldogs, Kavara Jones added 5. 3-point games by Quinn Rogel and Maddie Kennedy. And then Cammie Hartrick added 2 and Caden Whitney with 1. As for the Vikings, their leading scorer, Jason Carpenter with 12. Also scoring for them, Yabi Ruark hit 2 threes in that game. She added 8, and Sydney Wells with 7. Other scores for the Vikings involved Kirianne Matson and Jaden Horton, who both scored 3 apiece, and Bryn Pendleton and Sarah Tamblin, who both added 2. So next up for the Selah Viking ladies, they travel to Davis High School this Thursday, the 3rd, to play against the Davis Pirates, who are a very worthy, very active opponent. They are a team to be reckoned with in the 4As. They will take on the Pirates at 6 p.m. on Thursday on the road. As for Ellensburg, they will travel to Grandview Friday the 4th to take on the Greyhounds. Or excuse me, they will host Grandview Friday the 4th to take on the Greyhounds at 6 p.m. So that'll do it here from the girls varsity basketball. If you want to watch the boys basketball game, that stream will start very soon. Tip-off scheduled for 7:15 p.m. Pacific time. So from all of us here at Selah Athletics and Thor's Network, we thank you for your subscription, and we will see you next time.